Hi guys, I'm Priyanka Chopra and you're watching VNN.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Show. This week on the show, China puts 13 million residents into lockdown due to COVID 19. Ontario reports more than 5,000 new COVID 19 cases, goes back on vaccine eligibility for kids born in 2017. SafeMax International's Raman Dua talks about his initiative, sign deal today, get paid today. And realtors Praveen Arora and Sam Dillon tell us about major highlights in the real estate market in 2021. Starting with the global stories this week, following a spike in coronavirus cases, China is making efforts to control new virus outbreaks with the lockdown of the 13 million residents of the northeastern city of Xi'an. The lockdown measures have been put in place weeks before the controversial Beijing Winter Olympics, which is snubbed by major countries like UK, US, Australia, and now Canada, following China's human rights abuses. Owing to the pressure from the US government, Tesla has agreed to stop allowing video games to be played on center touch screens while its vehicles are moving. The move comes one day after the agency announced it would open a formal investigation into the distracted driving concerns about Tesla's video games. Coming on to the local news now, Ontario reports 5,719 new cases of COVID 19 on Thursday, making it the most ever logged in a single day in the province. The previous pandemic high of 4,812 cases came on April 16, 2021. Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Kieran Moore, says that this week's record high daily case counts were expected and will likely continue for several weeks. The year 2021 impacted every industry, but the real estate market continues to boom even during the pandemic. In our exclusive chat this week, realtors Praveen Arora and Sam Dillon talk about the major highlights of GTA's real estate market this year. Take a listen.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Voice News Network. My name is Pragya and welcome to our year-end special. Today I'm joined by our in-house realtors, Mr. Praveen Arora and Mr. Sam Dillon. And today we are going to talk about the trends that impacted the real estate market in GTA this year. So everything started from the major highs and lows we'll discuss today. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Pragya. Thanks for having us over.
So I'll start with the basic question. What were the major highlights of this year when it comes to real estate in GTA?
The major highlight of this year, Pragya, in 2021, I think everybody came to know about real estate. That's the major highlight. And secondly, I think if you talk to anybody and you will see, I would say 99% of the people, they are interested in real estate and they want to buy something in real estate. So this year is the one, I would say, in our industry is kind of a historical year, even though everybody was expecting that prices will go down due to this pandemic, but it was totally opposite to that one. Prices went up so much, and everybody has interest in real estate, especially this year, in 2021. Yeah. If you talk to anybody, even first time buyer, second time buyer who want to upsize, downsize, investor, residential, commercial, everybody talks about real estate nowadays.
So that would be the major highlight.
That's right.
Definitely. The industry was so dynamic this year. Everybody was afraid, as Praveen said, because of the pandemic that, there was so much uncertainty in every other field. But real estate was the only field that was going positive day by day. And the prices have gone up. There's a joke I'll like to share here that the client says that, show us something expensive. We don't like the houses in this price range. And then the realtor goes, I can show you the same house tomorrow. It will be more expensive.
Right.
So that's what has been happening in the real estate because the supply was so low and the demand was so high that prices as we can literally say went up by day.
Yeah.
So it was happening, but also this year brought in some factors that real estate became out of reach of many people that were thinking to get into real estate.
And if we talk about pandemic, obviously, as you mentioned, all other industries suffered a major, drawback in terms of making sales and all. But real estate was booming as ever.
Right.
What do you think was the reason that people, especially during the pandemic, wanted to buy more houses or sell their properties? What happened?
Pragya, it's a very good question, but there were multiple reasons what we see, especially this year, why the prices went up. We are in this industry for a long time. I'm in this business for more than 17 years. Sam is in more than 20 years. And I never saw any year before this, the way prices went up this year. If we really talk about GTA, most of the GTA markets in the last 12 months went up from 20 to 25%. It's a big jump, in a 1 year, 20 to 25% growth in the real estate industry. And the biggest reason what we see this year, why it went up is simple logic, supply and demand. Because supply was so limited this year and demand was high. And the demand was high, a lot of people came from the other part of the world, so they want to buy. That was the one thing. Secondly, mortgage rate is historically low. It's about 1.5% most of the time you can get the financing. 1.5% is very low interest rate compared to the other parts of the world. And the other thing is this, because the new construction, the builders, all the projects got delayed. And that new construction that was not delivered on time, so that's why people were not putting their existing homes on sale. That also brought inventory further down. And on the top of that, people were able to save some money, especially during the pandemic time, because they were not spending money on the other activities. So that was the other reason people have some more savings this year. On the top of that, people has more confidence in the real estate industry compared to the other investments from the last few years. So they were very much interested to invest in real estate. So there were multiple reasons. So that's why the market went up this year. And the way things look like, that was a big thing, especially 20 to 25% growth in 1 year, all parts of GTA.
Even, a lot of stock market investors, because there was so much uncertainty into stock market, they also invested in real estate. Because real estate is a tangible asset.
Right.
You can see that, yes, this is the house, I'm putting your money into this house. Whereas in stock market, bonds, or RRSPs, you just see a paper, and that confidence was not there. Like people would think that my money is safe, but when pandemic hit, it was all over the place. The stock market was crashing. All the stock exchanges were going down, like up to I think. Once it went down, NASDAQ in New York, it went down 500 points in single day. So people lost confidence in stock market and all other forms of investments. That also prompted high demand in real estate industry, because they could see that, okay, I'm putting my money on this house, right? So that gave them a real confidence, as Praveen said earlier also.
Yeah. And talking about trends, there was one thing I noticed, especially in real estate, because people started working from homes and nobody was coming to offices. So people started moving from main core downtown Toronto to other farther areas in GTA.
Outer locations,
and
yes.
and they wanted more space for themselves because they were working from home. So they they finally started thinking that we need to have our own space, our home house, and maybe that
Right.
is the reason that they.
That was also one of the factor, Pragya. As I mentioned, there were multiple reasons. That's why the market went up. And now, what is happening? Again, when people are seeing that the prices are going up so fast, and the people, even though people want to sell their property, they also start holding their properties too, because they have a fear in their mind. Or let's say if we sell our property today for $1 million, and after 2 months it may be 1.2 million or maybe 1.1 million. Yeah. So they also losing the confidence in the market in terms of selling, because they feel that if we sell it today, maybe tomorrow we can get more money. So this uncertainty regarding the market conditions, also brings the inventory further down. And not only the resale market, at the same time, even if we see the builders are also very smart, and they also watch the market. So now what they are doing, if any new development coming up, especially for the low rise, because low rise lots are not that many available in the market. So what they do, rather than releasing 100, 200 lots together, they are releasing 10, 15 or 20 lots. And some of the builders, they have a wait list for a weekly basis. They will say, oh, next week we will release 3 lots. Next week we will release 5 lots. And every week they are increasing the price. So all these things are helping to the market, for the higher price point.
Yeah.
Community, automotive, Bollywood, and real estate. Stay up to date with what's happening here and back home. Plug into opportunities and trends that can change your life. The Weekly Voice, Canadian leader in South Asian news. Get your paper edition or read online at weeklyvoice.com.
One other trend that we noticed this year in the market was there were, especially in the commercial sector, there were a lot of assignment sales happening. Assignment sale is, say, I purchase a property today and I put a clause there that I can close this property under a different name or under a different company. And a lot of people with who had handy cash, they would do a deal, and they will get an assignment clause in there, and before the closing they will sell it to a third party. And that also, we saw a lot of those transactions happening this year, because people were able to generate, without doing anything, they were able to generate huge profits from the assignment sales.
Yeah. And further talking about trends, one more thing that came up is like young people, students, and first-time buyers, they started getting into the market this year. Do you want to talk about that as well?
Pragya, if you remember, last week we spoke about the first-time buyers. I will highly encourage, especially the young people, if they can come in the market, or if they can buy something or secure a property, that will be a very good idea. The reason why the way GTA is turning into a different market, because before this, if we really see few years back, the GTA prices was much lower compared to the other major cities in the world, and now that gap is becoming less and less day by day. And it look like the way people are coming in the GTA market, down the road the prices will be even more aggressive in this market. So I will highly recommend, especially to the young people, if they can buy something, even a smaller property, I think that will be a very good thing in GTA's market.
Definitely.
And you said that when the year started, people were scared to sell their property, so they were holding up. But I also remember that earlier when we were talking about the selling property part, you said that this is the best time to sell in GTA.
Because when inventory is low, that's the best time to sell. Let's put this way, the reason why we also say that too, Pragya, if somebody want to upsize a property, let's say they are living in a semi-detached house, and that semi-detached house, I'm just giving a number, let's say for $1 million, and the property which they want to move, detached property, that property is maybe around 1.4 million. And if they want to upsize the property, I will recommend this is the best time. The reason why, because right now their existing property is for $1 million, and the property which they are buying, that is $1.4 million. So the gap is for $400,000. But if they are waiting for a longer time, let's say if they wait for another 6 months or 1 year, and the market goes up another 10-15%, definitely their semi will go up to, let's say the semi goes up for $150,000, but that detached property will go up more than $200,000. So the gap will be bigger. So if they want to upsize, it's the perfect timing for them, because the more they will wait, the gap will be bigger. If I really talk about, when I started my career in this industry, the difference between semi-detached and detached was, Sam can correct me, because that time in 2004-05, it was maybe around, I think, $40,000 to $50,000,
Yeah,
$40,000. That was the
area to
maximum
area.
difference, between a semi-detached and a detached property. And see where the gap is now. And nowadays, any detached property, especially in the GTA market, or if we're talking about the West market, Brampton, Mississauga, any builder is launching any detached house, that detached house is starting above 1.6 million. I don't think so anything is coming in the market less than 1.6 million, any brand new detached property.
Yeah.
And any semi-detached, if we see semi-detached is coming maybe around 1.1 from the builders, if anything is coming. So even over there, gap went up more than 10 times,
Yeah.
So if somebody want to upside, definitely it's a perfect timing.
So we did talk about the highlights of the year. If I ask you guys personally, how was the year for your company? What would you like to say?
I would say, Pragya, this is the best year so far in our 17 years career, right? And multiple reasons for the best year. No doubt, day by day, we are getting more and more stronger. Our team is expanding, our company is expanding, so we are getting more share in the market, no doubt on that. At the same time, the price point is going up, so that is also helping us to get higher average sale price in the market. And the third thing is this, because listings were selling so fast. When, let's say, our serving time to the listing is very short now. Before this, we used to have a listing in the market. Our normal time was maybe about 4 to 6 weeks. Now 4 to 6 days. So when the turnover is that fast, so definitely you can capture more business in the market. So this year was the best year so far, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to add something to this?
Definitely, as Praveen said, it no doubt was the best year in our careers and in our company's history. At the same time, we were able to be joined by many more new realtors in our team. So we expanded our team as well. And we also expanded our management team, our training team. We were able to provide the platform that a new realtor needs to be successful. And when the market is hot, it's, I think, the best time for the new people to get into it as realtors, because then they have hands-on experience. They are seeing that deals are happening left, right, and center, and they, even though they don't have that much knowledge in the beginning, but when they observe how things are being done on a fast pace, their learning capacity also becomes very fast, and they learn very quickly on the job. If it's a slow market, and as Praveen said, if we are able to close a deal only in 4 to 6 weeks, the training span also becomes longer, and because there's not much to see. But when we're putting together 5 or 10 deals in a week, the new people are able to see how it is done and how every step is taken care of.
Yes. Yeah. So far this year has been really great for you, for your company. Before I wrap up, I want to ask you, what do you expect in the coming year? Obviously, real estate market is doing really well right now, but we are in the year end. So what is your expectation? How things are going to be next year?
Before Pragya, I come to regarding the next year's, what we see, what is happening the next year. One thing I would like to say, even though this was the best year for us, but we really felt uncomfortable in this market, especially for our first time buyers. We used to do a good number of deals for the first time buyers, but this year we were not able to put that many for the first time buyers, because the market conditions were so difficult or different, so they were not able to secure the properties in this fast paced market. So that's why what we decided, especially in 2022, because what look like the market condition, there may not be a major change in this market. Even in 2022, we don't see that inventory is coming up in a big number, so where buyers will have the more options. And especially in this market, the most difficult time is for the first time buyers, because those people are upsizing or downsizing, they already have their existing properties. So for them is not a problem if the prices are going up. No doubt the gap will be more for them also, but at least they have something in hand, right? either they are upsizing or downsizing. First time are the one, they don't have anything in hand. And especially for the young people, there are a lot of people, they came here as a student and then they become PR. And now even last week we talk about that they don't have much financial help from their family and from other sources. The only thing what they have a decent job here, so they have only cash flow, but they have a big challenge for the down payment. So that's why in 2022, as we discussed last time, we are coming up with a very good option, especially for the first time buyers, how we can help them to secure the properties in this market. I think in the coming episodes, we will talk more about that one too, but I will definitely like to, share this information, especially for the first time buyers, that they should contact us. They can, we will be coming up with some webinars on that too, where they can join us on virtually, or if they want to come in person, they can get the information about that too, that how we can help them to secure the property in this market. And the market prediction is this, Pragya, I mentioned in even my last episode also, because we had a opportunity to meet Remax President Nick Bailey 2 weeks back in Vegas. So I was just talking to him, and he also mentioned they got some studies done about the GTA market. They did studies worldwide, especially for the GTA market. It looked like the market will go up again next year at least 17-18%. That's what the prediction is. And if that stays this way, for the first time buyer, it will be even more challenging, what I say.
The Weekly Voice, leader in South Asian news.
So even the inflation rate is not going to impact the real estate market?
There are some possibilities. Sorry.
It might impact a little bit, but the way market conditions are, even they're talking about that there could be a raise in interest rate also. So government is trying to put all these checks and balances to cool down the real estate market, but I think that's not enough. That will not have a major impact on the real estate industry, and as long as the issue of supply is not handled, all other measures will fail. The real estate market solely depends on demand and supply principle. I shouldn't say solely, but a major factor is demand and supply. When supply is so low and demand is so high, the prices are bound to go up. So I mentioned this earlier also. The real problem is the new construction. There should be some checks and balances put in place, first to encourage the new construction. The red tape should be reduced. Secondly, there should be some measures on the builders also, that if they have, say, in a subdivision 100 lots, they cannot increase the price of those 100 lots until they are all sold. As Praveen said, they are only releasing 5 lots or 10 lots, and then next 10 lots are higher in price. So government has to come up with some regulation, especially for the new builds, new construction. I think that will help a lot in cooling down the market.
So before we wrap up, is there any message that you want to give to the viewers who would probably be getting into the market next year?
I think the main thing which I would like to share with all the viewers, Pragya, that if you are considering to buy a house, if you decided to live in this country and you are here, I would suggest definitely buy even something smaller rather than paying rent. And the way market is and the way conditions looks to us, and if we really look at the other big cities in the world, New York, even in India, Bombay, and there are so many other big cities in Europe, London, Hong Kong, right? those cities, the prices are consistently going up. Even let's say the price doesn't go up that much, it is not easy to get the properties in those areas, right? So even if you are able to buy a smaller property, because the mortgage rates are very good and market conditions, even though not in your favor, but the mortgage is very low, at least buy something smaller. So that way, if the market goes up, it will be much easier for you to upsize the property down the road. And even let's say if market does not go up that much, still it will be better off rather than paying your rent to have something your own.
Yeah.
One issue which I see here is because all of us that are especially that come from India and Pakistan, we're used to, especially in the rural areas, we are used to big open spaces, big houses, you know. So I think that mentality has to change. It's good to have a dream home, but you know, in order to get to a dream home, maybe you can do it in 2 or 3 steps, you know. As Praveen said, buy something small. We just spoke about Hong Kong. I was reading an article that in Hong Kong, you'll be surprised to know that they have started building apartments, and just listen to this, the square footage starts at 250 square feet. You can imagine an apartment in 260 feet, you know, square feet. It's you know, nothing.
Maybe the size of this studio project. That will be the apartment size.
So, you know, I think that time is not far away, the way the GTA market is. Even though we have a vast land in Canada, we're you know, one of the biggest countries, but you know, to develop those lands is very costly. So only way I see is going up, you know, in apartments and condo buildings. So get into the condo market. You know, that's an option where you can stop paying somebody else's mortgage and start paying your own mortgage. You know, it's easy to get into. You know, there's different payment structures for pre-construction apartment buildings. So it's the price point is still low. You can get into that. And if you need any information how to do that, our information is on the screen. Give us a call. We'll sit down with you. And when you leave that meeting, if not anything else, you will be informed enough to make a sound and productive decision.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing to say. So I would like to tell all our viewers, as Mr. Sam mentioned and Mr. Praveen mentioned too, like if you need any information, you can see the contact details of Team Aurora at the bottom of your screen. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks,
Thank
Pragya.
you for having us.
This week, I got in touch with the CEO and founder of SaveMax International, Raman Dua, who told us about the new initiative his company has taken in favor of the realtors in GDA. Take a listen.
Hello everyone, this is Pragya Devan and you're watching Voice News Network, and today I'm joined by Mr. Raman Dua, who's CEO and founder of SaveMax International. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you, Pragya.
Print, digital, radio, and video. You choose the media. We are the Voice Media Group. So, sir, as you mentioned a lot about your career, first thing I want to ask you is, like, you know, when someone gets into real estate, they start from being a realtor and then they stay as a realtor all their life. But you became an entrepreneur. So tell me something about that journey.
Pragya, that journey started somewhere in 2007 when I joined my career as a realtor. And the major challenge which I could understand and identify at that time in the industry is I used to look towards these big realtors, like, you know, who were a success story at one point of time. And then I could see, like, they are leading nowhere in their life. They started their career as a realtor and they will end up their career as a realtor. So this was the first thought which I came into my mind, that I said, you know what? I am born as a realtor now, but I'm not going to die as a realtor. So my aspiration was to take that journey to the entrepreneurship. So keeping that in mind, I launched my own brand in 2010, and we started SaveMax from the basement of a house at that time. And even that time, we designed very innovative concepts for the industry, which really created a lot of revolution, I would say. It was list your house for $999. So from there, we kept moving on to this journey, and today here we are, where we have really created an amazing and successful brand which is ready to conquer the world, I would say.
Yeah. And talking about the innovations, you mentioned that when you started your business, you were keen on bringing new things on the table.
Right.
And something on the same line you've done right now with the new initiative. And I want you to tell our viewers what that initiative is.
All right. So Pragya, this is what I learned in my life as an entrepreneur. We want to work on a problem and provide a solution. So if we are able to identify the right problem and provide a solution which people they like, which is as per their need, then you can build up a big business. Yeah. So I started that when I started my career to build up SaveMax. The biggest challenge of the industry at that time was either there was big brand as an option who were charging 5 to 6%, and that is what that was a challenge for me, because I was working with one of a so-called big brand, and there were so many restrictions for me. They did not want me to come up with the creativity, come up with some innovative concepts where I can offer the best services to my client by charging them reasonable. Yeah. So I understood that problem, and then I decided, you know what, they will not let me do this. I have to do something of my own. So I opened SaveMax, and then we came up with this concept of $999, where the customer could have got the best services, but by paying a reasonable amount of commission. Yeah. And that really was a great success. The simple reason, we identified the problem and we provided a solution. Yeah. So we started building up the brand on that. Now came in around 2018, 2019, when we have really established SaveMax as $1 billion transaction in 1 year. So then I realized all these realtors, they need to understand this, that they have to take their career to the next level, because I have proven it by taking myself out of a realtor journey and putting up myself into an entrepreneur journey. But the problem at that time in the industry was that all this growth was not the mindset of the realtor. Because these big brands, they were blocking their mind. That was their business. Yeah. They did not want them to grow. So there was nobody who was taking an initiative onto it. And it was considered as opening up the brokerage belongs to elite class only. You need at least $500,000 or $1 million in your pocket if you want to take yourself to the next level. Yeah. So then we designed another innovative concept where we started giving a franchisee to a common realtor by taking care of all their needs. Either it was front office, back office, RICO compliance, their accounting, everything we kept it in-house for them. And we brought the economies of scale in the business. So now that economies of scale brought the cost down, and it was affordable for every realtor to take themselves to the next level. And that was the reason why within 2 years, we were able to build up a very strong network of more than 50 franchises all across the country. We were able to take our business operations on the international level in India as well. Oh, wow. And now we are aspiring to go in 11 countries in the world in next 3 years. Now comes the biggest challenge of the real estate industry, which is faced by almost 80 to 90% of the realtor. So Pragya, before I talk about that, I'll give you some stats. Okay. 90% of the brand new realtors who join the real estate industry, they leave within first 12 months. Just imagine how big that number is. Yeah. 65 to 70% of the realtor, they're working as part-timers. Oh. Look at it, how big this number is. So imagine these two big numbers, how much these people can contribute to the industry if they get an opportunity to come full-time into the business, or if they get an opportunity to become successful. Now, what are the two basic problems? Why they are not successful? Why they are forced to work as a part-timer? First problem, there is no right platform who is willing to hold their hand and take them to the level of success. Yeah. So we at SaveMax created that platform where in that platform, people, they come, join, and they are being provided that hand-holding services for first 6 months, and then later on how they have to grow. So they get that mentorship.
Okay.
So that really created success for more than 90% of the people in our in our organization.
So in a nutshell, you're not only doing good things for your own business, you're actually helping other realtors to get into this business full time.
Absolutely, and that is what my belief of business is. That is what the theory I built up in my life. Creating success for others is the real success for me.
Yeah.
Right? So now how can we help these 90% of the brand new realtor and 65 to 70% of the part-timers? First, we created that platform where they can come, they can get that mentorship, they can get that hand-holding, they can get the support in their initial days.
Yeah.
Now there is another big problem. I should not say that is a problem. That is basically the dynamics of the industry, right? The dynamics is when a realtor do a deal, and when they get their money when the deal close actually.
Oh.
Right? That's a normal way of doing business. Now, this dynamics stops many people to come full-time into the industry because normally a resale deal closes in 3 to 4 months and a pre-construction deal takes 3 to 4 years to close. And same happens with the commercial.
Yeah.
Right? That stops them because they are not able to take that first jump because they have to run their families for that 3-4 months. They have to take care of their kids, pay their mortgage. So they are not able to take that courage to come full-time in the industry.
Yeah.
So we again thought about that problem, and I realized that problem belongs to a big part of the industry. So we are breaking the jinx of almost hundreds of years of the real estate industry where people they used to get paid after the closing.
Yeah.
So in our system, which we named as sign deal today, get paid today.
Oh, wow.
So what happens is a realtor, when they are writing a deal and making the deal firm for their clients, they just have to submit the documents to the office and they get paid their commission right away.
That's so wonderful.
And that too before the closing. So just imagine, it will help a part-time realtor to come full-time into the industry because now he doesn't have to wait for that 3-4 months,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It will help a brand new realtor to come and establish himself in the business because the day he writes a deal, the day he firms it, he's getting his check right away.
Yeah.
And many realtors, they want to grow their business, but they have a problem of the cash flow.
Yeah.
So now that problem really again is a hindrance of their growth. Now they have that cash flow problem solved.
Exactly.
And they can invest this money into the growth of their business.
Yeah.
So this concept of sign deal today, get paid today is going to change the dynamics of the real estate industry. It is a revolution which is going to redefine real estate, not only in this country, but all across the world.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you are planning to take Save Max on like international level. So are you going to take these policies there as well, or are these only limited to Canada?
See, Pragya, right now we are, it's in a testing phase. So we are starting this from the resale transaction and that too in Canada. But of course, like my idea, my vision is to take this to the other part of the world as well. So we will be extensively working on this. And see, we want a common realtor to get a dream of becoming successful in the industry.
Yeah.
So for 2022, I kept a target that I am going to bring at least 1,000 brand new realtors or the part-time realtors full-time into the industry.
Yeah.
Right? And once we get success in that, then of course that we will be very happy to take that success to the other parts of the world.
So let's talk about this initiative more. What other features you are planning to come up with in this sign deal that you just mentioned?
Yes. Sign deal today, get paid today.
Get paid today.
Now the first question which is going to come into anybody's mind, or you might think as well, what is the cost involved into it? How much interest you are charging? Yeah. Because if we are giving money in advance, of course everybody would think
nothing is for free.
Nothing is for free, right? There should be hefty interest. Pragya, I'll share one more stats with you. So if a realtor goes to a company which do this cash advances and all that stuff, they have to pay 26 to 35% of the interest.
Okay.
Very hefty interest. In SaveMax, you get that facility at 0% interest to you. 0%. Now people will be thinking why we are doing it, right? Too good to be true, right? It is too good, but it is true. Now I'll tell you why we are doing it. First of all, I'm doing it because of a personal reason. This industry has given a lot to me. I want to say thanks to real estate fraternity of giving me this much success and building SaveMax brand onto a level where we are thinking of taking this to the global platform.
Yeah.
Now, this is a personal wish where I want to help my realtor community and support them and give them one more reason to come full time into the industry. So I'm working on a vision for that. Now, second, of course, there is a business interest into it. If I am supporting them onto that, they are going to become part of SaveMax family,
Yeah.
right? Yes, I might make some less money. I might help them, support them, but it is going to help me to grow my business.
Yeah, for sure.
So it is something which is called as an win-win situation, I would say.
yeah.
And that is what I learned in entrepreneurship. It's always creating that win-win situation. So I'm creating a win situation for them and I'm creating a win situation for myself.
That's really nice.
The Weekly Voice, leader in South Asian news.
So you mentioned that you are going to help realtors get into this business full time. Is there anything that a first time home buyer would get out of this, or people who want to get into real estate market?
Wow. Pragya, believe me, indirectly, it's a very intelligent question. Because clients might be thinking, I'm trying to do it for realtors, what is in it for me? But just imagine, you get an opportunity to work with the realtor who's a part-timer, and you get an opportunity to work with the realtor, it's a full-timer. Who is going to help you? Who is going to serve you better?
The full timer.
There you go. So if I am working on bringing these people full-time in the industry, it is definitely going to enhance the service level.
Yes.
It is definitely going to benefit the clients, first-time buyers or the sellers in one way or the another, because I am raising the bar of the industry.
Yeah.
I am making industry more competitive, more productive for them so that they can get the best services.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, many times people don't understand the value of this, but it is always beneficial, and I always tell people, a good realtor will always compensate his commission by his professional work. So this is going to apply over there.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, it's a win-win situation for the buyers and sellers as well, for the realtors as well, and for you too.
Of course, this is what my job is.
No, that's a really wonderful initiative. So before we wrap up, anything else you want to tell our viewers who are maybe like, a real estate agent or somebody who is planning to get into this market? What would be your message to them?
Yeah, Pragya, I want to give a very strong message to my young generation, to the youngsters. We came in this profession by a chance. Our objective was to make money. But with the time I learned, money is a byproduct of a vision. Money is a byproduct of a hard work. Money is the byproduct of success. We adopted this as a last choice. But this is one of the best profession in the world. Pragya, tell me any other profession where somebody, a high school graduate, can do a white collar job and can make six-figure income. Real estate is the one. So to my young generation, I'm young too though.
Of course.
Adopt this as the first choice of your profession. I want a small kid to start thinking about it. You know what? I want to adopt real estate as my profession. I know people aspire to become doctors, engineers, architects. Nobody aspires to become a realtor. Nobody aspires to think that I'm going to go in real estate as a profession. This is what the thought process what I want to bring especially into my young generation. So I will help you, I will support you wherever you need, but make sure consider real estate as a profession for you.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of opportunities in this profession. If we all start working together and change our thought process, we can make this as the best profession in the world.
For sure. And I think the initiatives that you're bringing and the innovation that you're bringing, I think that is going to help a lot of people out there too.
Absolutely. So if you want to get more information about this, you can of course visit our website, which is another amazing platform where you can access almost 135,000 listings. You can get the sold properties in all across GTA. Like you can access the sold data over there. And on top of it, you can find out the value of your property online on our platform, which is SaveMax, www.savemax.com. And if you want to get more information about this, our new initiative, which we call is Sign Deal Today, Get Paid Today. You can go on to www.savemax.com and you can find out all the information over there. And if you need to have some clarifications, you can fill up the form and our team can definitely get in touch with you to provide all the accurate and exact information for you.
So it's very easy for all our viewers to get in touch with them. You can find the details at the bottom of your screen, and if there is any question, you can straight away go to the website, check out various initiatives that Mr. Ramando is talking about. And yeah, I think you have made it very easy for everyone.
Of course, that is what my job is.
So thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Pragya, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to get in face to face with your viewers.
हाय वेलकम बैक टू हमारी रेसिपी सेशन जो है उस पर एंड वी से जायका घर का वी आर टॉकिंग टुडे अबाउट चिकन रेसिपी विच इज़ ए नॉर्मल चिकन रेसिपी बट बिफोर वी स्टार्ट दैट लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस यू विद आवर चीफ गेस्ट टुडे मिस्टर बाला मेनन ही इज़ आवर चीफ एडिटर विद द वॉइस मीडिया ग्रुप with all those sections what we have, all those stories what you see, read, watch. So he's the man behind the whole episodes and all those details with everything. Even today's recipe is being recommended by him. So let's start the recipe. First, welcome Bala.
Oh, thank you, Sudhir. Anyway, the chicken looks already ready to eat. I mean, you have marinated it so beautifully.
Yes.
I'm sure the result will be as
very nice,
delicious
yes,
as it looks.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add oil with the
Ghee.
Right?
Clarified butter, the best thing to cook with.
Yeah. So I put this thing on a high flame to make this thing ready first. So now since this is being done, so I'm going to add some jeera in there, which will have
Cumin seed.
right away
okay,
cumin seed. Right.
And this is
onion, garlic, ginger.
okay, a paste, no?
Yeah. Only garlic, ginger, onion. So we made a paste of this.
Right.
So in our mixie or whatever you call jar.
Already the fragrance is hitting you very nice.
You can have that.
Yeah. That's a real cooking aroma.
Real cooking aroma. Yeah. So we will shift all this onion, garlic, ginger, green chili paste into this jar and we'll let it simmer for some time. It is on the low heat now.
What is in the marinade?
Marinade. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is a plain yogurt which we have used with
Along with
some
the
of those spices.
Right.
Spices are, I can show you those spices. These spices are, we have not added any salt.
Okay, there's cumin, turmeric.
Yeah.
What is that? Red chili.
Red chili.
Garam
this is
masala.
Garam masala. And this is what you call fennel seeds.
Fennel seeds.
Fennel seeds. So this is what we have used.
Right.
And what we have used is only quarter of the tablespoon of each.
Small quantities.
Very small quantity. So we want the balance of the spices to be used in this one when we do the actual cooking.
print, digital, radio, and video. You choose the media. We are the Voice Media Group.
So this is almost there.
Yeah. Now, where did you learn to cook this?
I did not actually learn from any.
Experimented?
I did not learn from anybody.
On your own?
This was basic idea was basically to when especially when we're talking about young people, those are living away from home, they have to do something. We'll just let this thing happen slowly. It is happening now. I have to add
When do we add this tomatoes?
tomatoes will be adding. I took actually a quarter cup of ghee, and that quarter cup of ghee I'm putting this slowly. I have put this. Initially I put 3 large spoons, like tablespoons, and then I keep on adding some more ghee so that it can cook evenly and smoothly. So this is what is happening. Now we just wait for another few minutes. So quarter spoon of each spice we put. So we will be putting again, you can see quarter spoon. You can measure like that, quarter spoon, quarter spoon, quarter spoon, and quarter spoon.
Okay.
So this is what we did. Now at this stage we'll add some salt. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of the salt and little more
For the flavor.
for a flavor. So this will help us cooking the paste into the right space. So when we do this, we'll just mix those spices. So just to make sure the spices mix is correct, what we'll do, we'll add very little water.
Okay.
So water will help mixing all these spices with the, masala paste, ginger paste, onion paste. So the one which we have made, and we'll make this heat which we have kept on low to the
Increase it?
medium low.
Okay.
So this is our plain yogurt which we have taken. What we did with this, the yogurt what we took, and then what we did, we took our fork and mixed this yogurt to a level where you don't see any gums of the yogurt in this thing. So this is almost a quarter cup of yogurt which will be mixing it. You don't want to waste, so that I'm using my hand. So this is going to be a very creamy chicken which we are making, very, very creamy. Without the cream is basically they use plain yogurt. So this is what we have done. We have used a plain yogurt, and we have to make sure that it doesn't curdle. So that's why we mix it at the low heat. You can see, you can even start having that
Smell, nice.
that flavor of the spices. So this is almost done, but we still want to wait little more time so that it is done perfectly before we add the tomato puree into this.
It shouldn't burn, eh?
No, it should not burn. It should not. We added that tomato puree into our masala and spices, which was mixed with onion, garlic, ginger, green chilies, and then plain yogurt. And now we have added the tomato paste. Tomato paste means not the actual tomato paste, tomato puree, which we have just made right in front of you guys.
And the chicken wants to jump in now.
Yeah. So it is almost there. So I will put this thing little temperature on the medium heat and close it because it may start spilling out with the heat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make small pieces of this.
Chop it fine.
Chop it fine in a nice and slow way. You know, we use these roots of the
Yeah.
coriander. We use them because they are the one which has a lot of flavor,
Strong flavor, yeah.
very strong flavor. So I'll take handful of this dhania and pour it at this stage in the dish
Yeah.
and mix it well so that taste of dhania will start oozing out from the dish. So our chicken is ready. We put this chicken for the marination half an hour ago. It is ready to go. This masala has started oozing out that oil as well. So what we are going to do, we're going to add this chicken into this masala and mix this well with, and make the heat into medium. So once this is all mixed very well together, so what we are going to do is we are going to leave this at the low heat for 10-15 minutes to let this simmer and cook. As you know, Bala, this chicken has a lot of water,
Yeah, there is. So,
right? So we are not adding any water. We are just
Right.
we're keeping this and putting this as a low. We put the final stage of the coriander leaves and putting a lid for another minute or so that coriander aroma will be mixed up with the chicken. So let me give you the final look of that. I brought 2 balls, so it will be a tasting balls for the people who will be tasting this. Thank you very much. I'm signing off from Zaika Ghar Ka. Thank you.
We'll meet next time, yeah.
And that's a wrap on this week's show. We would love to hear your thoughts on the show, so type in the comment section and tell us what you think. You can follow us on our social media handles, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe us so that you can get all the updates. Thanks for watching.